Hey guys, well, I'm getting close to finalizing my pack for this year for the Camino de Santiago. I'll be headed there either in April or May, and depending on which month I go in, that will determine which items I bring. So there's a couple of things in this pack that I'm not 100% sure on. If I'm closer to April 1st, then I'll bring the heavier item. If I'm closer to the end of May, then I'll bring the lighter weight items. And the reason being is that April 1st, it could still have snow on the ground. It could be freezing temperatures, and you could get lots of rain and wind and cold. But if you go towards the end of May, you're heading into summertime. You'll get the occasional cold day, but you're going to be walking for 5 weeks, so you're not even going to finish until the end of June or beginning of July. Temperatures are going to be quite warm just about every day. Not a lot of rain as you head into the Meseta. So depending on when I get the best airfare, that's when I'll decide when I'm gonna go. So this is the pack at this point, and I'm going with the Osprey Talon 26. I did a video on this a couple weeks ago, and it's just about right. I think what they did on these packs, I used to carry the Osprey Talon 33, and the measurements were pretty similar to what the Osprey Talon 26 measures in at now. And I think what they did is they just took the Osprey Talon 33 frame and put that on the 26, and then took that gigantic top storage and left it with the Osprey Talon 33. But that 33 pack now measures out about 27 inches, which is not going to work as a carry-on with most of the airlines. They're cutting you off at about 21 inches. So you want to be careful of that when you're picking a pack. So this Osprey Talon 26 weighs just over 2 pounds. And the items that I'm looking at bringing are, this is a down sleeping bag. This is the Sea to Summit Spark sleeping bag that I have. It weighs in at about 15 ounces, just short of 15 ounces, about 14 and a half. These are my Birkenstocks. So these are the most comfortable sandals I've ever worn. And they're very thick. They're like Crocs. They're that closed cell foam sandal, so they're quite thick, which means it adds bulk to the pack. And I've talked about this before in the last couple of videos, where not everything is about weight. Sometimes it's more about the bulkiness of an item, because if you get too many bulky items in your pack, it sort of forces you into the next bigger pack, which may weigh anywhere from half a pound to a pound more, and then you're not going to be able to fit in the overhead bin, or the airline's not going to let you carry on. They're going to charge you $50 to check the bag. So that there's a cascading effect when you bring bulky items. And so since I'm just wearing the sandals in the evenings, these work just fine. You don't need shoes. Your feet really need to breathe. Your feet need to recover so that they can be ready to walk the next day. But these are rather thick, and as much as I love wearing them, this would be one of the things that I would trade out for a thinner pair. If I got thinner ones, they would fit in the little sleeve inside the backpack. There's a sleeve in there that looks like a laptop sleeve, but it's designed for the water bag if you use one of those things. And if I got thinner style like flip-flops, then those would easily slide into that sleeve, where these are taking up quite a bit of room and really challenging to get into that sleeve. So these I usually just have sort of stuck on top, but super comfortable though. I have my rain jacket. This is a very waterproof rain jacket. I bought this at El Corte Inglés in Pamplona, and it's a Solomon, totally waterproof. Love it, lightweight, and mostly I just use it for the windproof ability, because when you get out on those days where it's cold and windy, that wind will blow right through you. So you need something windproof to lock in the heat. And I'll wear something like this, like a sweater or my fleece jacket under it, and that keeps me totally warm. Next item is my winter hat. And again, if I'm going at the end of May, I'm not bringing this. If I'm going towards April, then this is going to come with me, because again, that wind can be down in the mid 30s with wind, and you need something to cover your ears. It gets quite cold. So again, if I'm at the end of May, I'm not bringing my down sleeping bag. I'm just bringing a little sleeping bag liner instead. So so those are a couple of items that I may or may not bring depending on when my flight is. I've got sunglasses, I've got reading glasses, I've got my little toiletry kit where I've got a towel. I use a little microfiber dish towel. It works perfect. It's like a little chamois like you would use to dry your car off when you wash it. Those little microfiber dish towels, you can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Walmart. They're usually white or brown, and they've got little stripes on them, and they're microfiber. They are very absorbent, and you can wring them out really easily, and it gets all the water out, and they go right back to drying 100%. So I recommend bringing something like that rather than a full-size camp towel or something. Those camp towels they aren't very absorbent. They sort of, you have to sort of rub to get them to dry you off. So I prefer these little dish towels. Toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant. You know what to put in there. This is a pair of pants that I'll only pretty much be wearing in the evenings. So I walk in shorts. I don't walk in pants. It has to be really, really cold for me to walk in pants, and it has to be dry because I don't want my pants to get wet. If it's raining, I'm wearing shorts and just toughing it out. But these are just a lightweight pair of hiking pants, and they're kind of stretchy. I like them. They're comfortable. So I'm bringing those. They weigh 9 ounces. This is my fleece jacket that I got at the Decathlon store. I think it was the one in Burgos is where I got this. So it was 15 euros. And love it. Works really well. So that's probably going to come with me unless I'm walking again in the end of May. I'll bring a different one. I have a sleeveless fleece vest that's exactly the same as that. I got that at for 10 euros at the Decathlon store, and it basically keeps your core pretty warm but leaves your arms loose because the normal fleece jacket's just going to be too heavy for walking in mostly in June. So this is, again, another one. If I go towards the end of May, this is going to stay behind, and I'm going to opt for a thinner, lighter fleece vest. This is a smart wool, long sleeve smart wool shirt that's sort of a little dressier than other stuff. It weighs 7 ounces where my outdoor research hoodie only weighs 4 ounces. I throw this in there in case I feel like dressing up a little bit. This has been on many adventures with me, so it's sort of a item. It's the one comfort item that I would probably choose to bring just because it's been so many different places with me. This is my outdoor research hoodie shirt. I've talked about that in just about every video. Weighs about 4 ounces. Does a very good job. I think better than the smart wool shirt. It does a good job of insulating. I like to sleep in it, and I also usually will walk in it if it's cold and windy. It just makes it kind of nice. These are the new shoes that I got. These are the New Balance. What are they called? They're called Rebel V5, and I think they call them Fuel Cell Rebel V5. So I think I'm leaning towards these rather than my Brooks Ghost Max, just because they're so much lighter and bouncier, and I did a video on that yesterday. So that's that. These are 2 pairs of walking shorts. They have a built-in liner, so you don't need to wear any underwear with them. They're basically like a little swimsuit, and I get these at Dick's Sporting Goods. These are Under Armour brand, and they're 5-inch short. That's the length of the short. And they're very, very comfortable. They're super lightweight, great for walking in. If they get wet, they dry very quickly. And I bring 2 pairs. So I wear one while I'm walking, and then at the end of the day, when the pair that I wore is drying on the line, I put on the other pair. And then if it's warm, that's all I wear in the evenings. If it's cold, then I just put the pants on over that. It depends on the weather, but they're pretty slim form fitting, and they usually fit right under the pants. And then I also have 1 pair of underwear just for evenings. I have 3 t-shirts. These are the real sort of ultralight dry fit t-shirts that I get at the Uniqlo store. I got some of these in Tokyo and some of them over here in California. They have a store. Underwear, I just bring 1 pair because I'm only going to wear it in the evenings. And then 2 pairs of socks. And so I just rotate those through, wash them every day, and that's it. This is all I have. It's coming in with all of this stuff at 8.1 pounds. If I go probably planning to go towards the middle of May is usually when I'll choose to go. I won't bring the sleeping bag. That's 1 pound. I won't bring this hat. Well, it's probably a pound between the two of them. I won't bring the hat. I won't bring the fleece jacket. Probably won't bring the smart wool shirt. I'll just bring the one long sleeve shirt for an overshirt because I got the 3 t-shirts. And I will bring the rain jacket because you do in the middle of May and towards the end of May, you do get those a couple of rainy days and windy days and that sort of thing. So I would eliminate 1, maybe 2 pounds from this, 8 pounds, and get it down to 6. And then I would add back in the little lightweight fleece vest that might take me up to 6.5 pounds. And then I would throw in a bottle of water. That weighs 1 pound. I use a 500 milliliter Perrier bottle, and that's all I carry. There's water everywhere along the Camino, every couple of miles. You don't need to bring a huge bag full of water. It's just not necessary. So there's pilgrim fountains every town you run into, and sometimes along the side of the trail there will be a pilgrim fountain there. So that's it. And then I also carry a fanny pack. So if anybody's wondering where do I put my phone, where do I put my passport, all that stuff, I have a fanny pack that is always on me. Even if I put my bag down at a cafe, the fanny pack stays with me with my wallet, my phone, my passport, my pilgrim credential, any cash, that sort of thing. It stays on me at all times. And that way I can just, when I get to an albergue, I just throw my pack either on the bed or I hang it from the bed. And I just don't even worry about it. There's nothing of value in here that can't be easily replaced or just done without. That's the way it is. So yeah, I'm hoping to probably go towards the middle of May. That's my favorite time because then I escape much of the rainy, cold weather. And it's just an easier time to walk. Towards the end of May, I can lighten this thing up easily by 2 pounds. My first Camino, the first Camino I did, my pack weighed 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds. It was just, all I had was a pair of pants, extra shirt, and a silk sleeping bag liner that weighed 2 ounces, just bare minimum. And I just did without. I wanted to see how light, how little can I go with and still survive? And I did just fine. I did the whole Camino and used the blankets in the albergues. Not really a problem at all. So in the following Caminos, I tend to think, yeah, I'll take a couple of comfort items because it's only a pound or two. But it sure was nice carrying 4.5 pounds. Like I said, if I do get towards the middle or end of May, I'll eliminate a couple of pounds out of this bag, and that'll be, you barely notice it. It's really nice walking with that little weight. So that's it. That's my pack for this year, and looking forward to the Camino. We got, what is it? End of January, February, March, April. Less than 4 months, about 3.5 months. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.